Hi there. If the following free content proves to be useful to you, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and checking out the pinned comment down below for more options to support my efforts. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy the video. So, to arrange I love this question. Thank you very much. Okay, so this question is from Mohammed, and he asks, how to arrange classes and package structure in Android? So basically, this is a really key question, and the reason why it is a key question is because in my opinion, here's the opinion piece, then we'll get to the practical part. In my opinion, and I'm strongly influenced by Robert C. Martin. If you want to look up, he has lots of stuff on YouTube. He does clean architecture and things like that. So in my opinion, your package structure of a project, whether it's an Android project, iOS project, web application, doesn't matter. Your package structure should be very, very deliberate, and it should help people, including yourself, understand the architecture of the application. So that's a really key point. Now, what's the practical part? How do you actually lay that out? There's different approaches. I will kind of share two which help me. Oh, my shoulder is sore, sorry. I will share two that sort of, I have my own style which melds two different package structure approaches. So there's two kind of approaches that I would really suggest to you. So package structure, and I'll give you some keywords if you want to search this stuff. Package structure. So number one, there's package by feature. So what does package by feature mean? Basically what that means is I'll pull up PosTrainer. This is an open source repository. You can check it out down below, should be in the description box. And let's open up the main package. I do apologize, I can't really zoom in here, but I'll kind of just talk about this stuff. So the way that I like to lay out my projects is I do two things. So the first part is package by feature. So if I open up PosTrainer really quickly here, the first activity which opens is called list activity, and it looks like that. And you can add things, you can add reminders. And this is one feature of the application. It displays a list of reminders. I can hit the button here to take me to another feature or activity. Generally speaking, for me, I like to make one activity per feature. There's different ways of approaching that. That's just what I find works really well for me. There's a couple other features. There's like the settings feature, which is pretty basic. So all I'm doing is I'm saying, here's a couple features. Now, if I were to look at the code, could I kind of figure out which is which? Which screen corresponds to which package? Well, they're very descriptive. Right here we have reminder list, which is the first feature I showed you, reminder detail, which was the second feature I showed you, and then settings, which is the third feature. I only have one other feature in this application, which is alarm receiver. So that's the first thing, package by feature. So for each feature, I give it a name which describes what it is pretty well. So reminder list displays a list of reminders. Isn't that nicer than some stupid messed up name? Anyways, and then if I open up each feature, you'll find basically the same kinds of classes contained within each. So you'll find my model view presenter stuff. So the way that I do model view presenter is I have a presenter, a fragment, which is my view, and that's basically kind of pretty much it. Activity is just like a container, and you'll see each feature package has an activity. It has the same classes essentially, just different features. So that's the first thing. So that's package by feature. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, when I'm working on one feature, or if you imagine multiple developers working on one app, each feature is in its own package. All the classes you kind of need to work with are basically in the same spot. You don't need to run around all over the place to find it. That's package by feature. The other approach that I use is called package by layer. So what is package by layer? Just give me one moment and I'll pull up a little diagram here. Oh yeah, okay. Shut up, phone. There we go. Okay, so what do we got here? Is that it? Yes. Okay. And once again, we're gonna see if Ryan can maintain his patience while using the Windows 10 photo viewer. So the next thing is, this is basically the software architecture diagram of POS Trainer, more or less. Now, we're not going to get into deep software architecture stuff. I'm just going to show you how this correlates to my package structure. So basically, in the architecture that POS Trainer uses is basically a clean architecture with model view presenter for the front end of the application. Now, the main thing is, I just want you to notice there is a dependency injection layer. Don't worry about what all this crap is. Just take note, there's a dependency injection layer. We're talking about package by layer now. So dependency injection layer. There's a domain layer, and there's a service layer. We won't worry about the domain layer. Let's not talk about that. But the service layer, I want you to think of like as a data layer, data, services, location manager, databases, retrofit kind of stuff. So what I like to do is, for that stuff, I will put that into specific, let me just clean this up a little bit here. I will put that stuff into its own packages by layer. So for example, if I open up use case, you will find my use cases. Don't worry about what those are, just know that they're in the use case layer. And that is this layer. If I open up, for example, data, which is basically like my service layer down here, then you'll see that I have database kind of stuff. I've got a realm database somewhere. Yeah, I've got a realm database in here. I've got my alarm services in here in the data layer. In base, I've got base classes. So I've got base view, base presenter, base activity. These classes basically, or classes and interfaces, just hold stuff that I want, contracts or classes or functionality that I want multiple classes in my architecture to inherit, blah, 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 technical jargon. And I have my dependency injection layer, which has all these crazy things called components and modules. And if you're not familiar with Dagger 2, then really don't worry about that because it's intense stuff. So, and that is what I would call package by layer. You can search these terms and find more information about them. So the last thing I'd like to end on to finish this question off is that I hope I've demonstrated that, number one, name your packages deliberately and give them good names. You can name your packages based on how your software architecture actually looks. So if you were to draw your app like I do, here, these things strongly correlate to good package names. And so that was that. And then the last, well, basically to finish it off, everything from your package structure to your naming conventions to your software architecture diagrams to your general approach to writing code, it can all kind of converge towards making it so that sort of taking the guesswork out of reading your own code, reading other people's code, and reading applications. And all you need to do is give things good names and put things in packages that make sense in a nutshell. And the added benefit of doing that is not only will all the programmers you work with thank you, but you will thank yourself. Because I can't tell you how bizarre and frustrating it is to open up an entire application which you know you wrote, and you don't know what different things do because you didn't take the time to name them well or arrange them properly. That's basically it. I'm going to run a quick commercial break. Hopefully that answers your question.